Welcome to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist here on the Intuitive Therapist podcast. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've enjoyed these podcasts. It's been my pleasure to record them and share wisdom with you. Today, I'm going to talk about inner peace, which is something I believe we all strive for. We all try to achieve inner peace in different ways. Whether it's meditation or vacations or trying new food, indulging, whatever inner peace is. Maybe it's really working on your belief system. Maybe it's becoming physically healthy. Whatever inner peace means to you, maybe it's becoming more religious or spiritual. Whatever inner peace means to you, it is so important that you cultivate that. Sometimes it's very hard to come by in life. And so today's episode, I want to talk to you about inner peace, but I want to talk to you about it in a different way. When I first came up with this content, it was really cool. And I thought, well, gosh, I just want to share this with people. I want to teach them about the one thing that can truly help you create inner peace. It's something that I teach all of my clients. It is so essential to achieving inner peace that I had to write a podcast about it. And so what today's podcast is called Inner Peace, the Secret is in the Fifth Element. I'm going to talk to you about what the elements are and the fifth element is. The four ancient elements of earth, air, fire, and water play significant and current roles in the degree to which we experience inner peace and fulfillment. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the four elements determine our personalities and how we cope with life's ups and downs. So remember, the four elements are earth, air, fire, water. And by consciously balancing those elements within us, we can experience joy and freedom and achieve more than we ever imagined possible. The first element, earth, represents material concepts such as money, foundation, home, and the physical body. Within the earth's element, our focus is on making money, paying our bills, and meeting our family's material needs. We are taking action to establish financial security for ourselves through our daily activities. And this element is all about what's outside of us, whereas the other elements, or call them suits, are all about what is within us. Now, I'm going to pause right here because those of you who are familiar with tarot, you're going to know that these elements, earth, air, fire, water, are the four suits of the minor arcana in tarot. The tarot is a deck of cards that was developed, oh my goodness, I think in the 1500s, maybe the 1300s. It was actually evolved into a high society kind of social game. And it was devised, like I said, more as a social thing, but it's become used as a divination tool. So there are four suits, earth, air, fire, water. Each connects to a specific thing. Like I said, earth is all about material concepts, money, foundation, home, the physical body. Each of them correlates to a particular aspect of your life. And so when you have more of one, then the other three are going to be out of balance. If you have, the ultimate goal for all of us is to create balance in our lives. And so we can use these elements. We can use the elements in the tarot, the earth, air, fire, water, the suits, to see what comes up for us. And of course, that's a whole other thing to talk about tarot, which actually I may do, is the major arcana, which talk about really the life events, the significant things that we need to be aware of in our lives to work on and to use as we grow up through the tarot, through the story of the tarot, with the archetypal story of the tarot. Now, Establishing financial security for ourselves and our loved ones is a primary goal for most people using the earth element, right? But in general, we try to do that. So if you're working to earn money with a belief that money doesn't come to you easily, the focus can morph into an all-consuming obsession, resulting in a block of creativity and inspiration about how you're going to access additional opportunities to experience financial gains. So, simply put, if you believe money doesn't come easily and effortlessly to you, then you're going to experience it as a problem. You're going to push away the money that you could potentially bring in, and you're going to be blocked in terms of how you're going to create multiple streams of income. The second element is air, and it corresponds with our intellect and our thoughts. Our thoughts are double-sided, y'all, like the sword in the tarot, the suit of air. And it can be used for good or evil. Thoughts can be used for good or evil, for ourselves or towards others. Our thoughts can motivate or immobilize us, especially if we believe that we're unable to make decisions at all. So we can use our words to bring a crowd to its feet or to level the playing field. With the element of air, we can find ourselves caught up in our own negative thoughts and perceptions. Our fears and worries are created in our thinking minds. That's where they exist. Nowhere else, just in our brains. And if we allow our fears to control us, we lose the ability to think and feel flexibly, and we experience a traffic jam of the heart and of the mind. Those of you that have ever heard, I'm sure most of you have, that you've heard of the chip on your shoulder. Okay, that is, it. Of course, most people don't have a chip on their shoulder, so it's not a literal term. It is a metaphorical statement, because if you have a chip on your shoulder, then you've got something that is interfering with the collaboration and the complement of the mind and the heart. And so that's what happens when we allow our thoughts to control us. We very often can't think with both thinking mind and heart. And so we have this kind of cutoff, and we end up being sad or angry all the time. And so the goal would be to remove that chip and have our heart and minds in alignment. The third element is fire, and it symbolizes our passions, our creativity, willpower, and ideas. Each of us needs to tap into our fire element to feel purposeful and live a meaningful existence. When the fire element is lit within us, we feel excited, we feel energized and goal-oriented. And you'll see in the tarot, the element of fire is represented by a wand. When the fire element is lit, like I said, we feel so excited. We can't wait to begin our new process or begin our new creativity, when it comes to starting new things. Our faith in spirit and in ourselves is unshakable, because the element of fire focuses on a desire to chase after our dreams creatively, lacking clarity about how to achieve our ideal life and how to channel our fire energy can cause us to feel stuck and helpless. And when we are completely immersed in our passions, we might neglect practical thinking, our ability to ground ourselves emotionally, and lose sight of the need to take care of our daily responsibilities. So like I said before, if there is an overindulgence in any one of these aspects, any aspect of money, where you're over concerned with money, or that all you do is think and you don't feel, or all you do is you're so intense and passionate that, and then the last element is water, which I'm going to talk about, which are emotions. But if you're overindulging, if you're overexpressive, if you're over-involved in one of these aspects, all these other elements are going to be out of balance. The fourth element is water, and it represents our emotions. And we can choose what emotions we feel at any given moment. And I know that sounds hard. I've gotten stuck many, many times, but I remember to myself, if this is something that I don't want to feel, what do I need to focus on, believe, and do in order for me to change the emotion I'm feeling right now? So our emotions don't do us, rather we do our emotions. And the fourth element of water represents really, like I said, how we feel it at any given moment. Each of us practices sadness, fear, happiness, confusion, and other emotions in our own unique ways, using specific words, specific beliefs, specific behaviors. You don't realize this, y'all, but you practice what you feel. Think about that. If you're feeling happy, what are you saying to yourself? How are you walking? Where are you looking? Are you smiling a lot? Versus sadness, or if you're pissed off, what are you saying to yourself? What are your actions? What are your behaviors? What are you focusing on? And so we choose all those things. None of that is involuntary. So these emotional habits reinforce the intensity of the emotions that we choose to feel on a regular basis. It's pretty simple. We reinforce how much we feel an emotion. So if you immerse yourself too long in a negative emotional state, you're going to find it difficult to equally attend to your thoughts, ideas, and goals. You see, if you're out of balance emotionally, you can't really think clearly, right? You can't work well, right? You can't earn that money. And you certainly can't feel passion and creativity if you are overwhelmed with emotion. So given that internal peace depends on the ability to which we are able to balance these four elements, wouldn't it be great if we had a core resource that could help us successfully align all of these elements, like immediately? Yep, it'd be awesome. So here's what I want to teach you about. This is the fifth element. I want you to imagine this. Imagine a table where the elements of earth, air, fire, and water are the four legs. You can have a circular table. You can have a triangular table. Well, not really triangular, but you can have a rectangle table, a square table, one that allows you to have four legs. Okay, and these four legs are the ones that support the table. Now, if these four legs are made of a solid and strong material, you would likely assume that the table is very stable, right? But what if there was a fifth leg in the middle of the table? And this leg not only reinforces the support that the other four legs offer, but it can support the structure independently. When you want to make sure that you had that type of table, I call this fifth leg the fifth element. And the fifth element is intuition. Intuition is the internal guidance system that exists within each and every one of us. Everybody is intuitive, and in my opinion, everybody's psychic. It's just a matter of whether or not you're paying attention, whether or not you believe, but each of us has those gifts. It's the core element that allows us to experience serenity and comfort on a consistent basis, but only if we listen to it and follow it faithfully. Your intuition is your guidance. It is your flashlight in the darkness. It is your gauge about whether or not a decision is true for you, right? It's your evaluative system that allows you to know when to move forward and when to hold back. It is everything you need, and you already have it in you. And there's a previous podcast I've talked about how to develop your intuition. If you want to learn more, go back to that one because I tell you how to do it. I've also written a book called The Intuitive Therapist, which goes into great detail about intuition, how to develop, what to do to maximize it, how to use it in your life. So go get the book, The Intuitive Therapist by me, Janis Cohen, because you'll learn a heck of a lot, not only about intuitive development, but also about problem solving. I put so much into that book. I've been doing this for almost 26 years, and I wanted to give my readers the golden nuggets of the 26 years. So that's what that book is about. So intuition is the core element that allows us to experience serenity and comfort on a consistent basis. But you got to listen to it. And intuition, the fifth element, there's no thinking. We don't think ourselves through what we know or what we feel or what we see or hear. We just accept it. The element of intuition, in my opinion, is associated with light. Trusting our intuition signifies our complete faith in spirit and in ourselves, and it is the guiding force. It lights our way. Intuition is experienced as faint nudges, inner knowings, flashes of insight, and gut feelings, and it functions independent of our conscious awareness. It just is, just like a heartbeat, just like energy, just like gravity, just like our breathing. We don't concentrate on those things all the time. They just exist. Same thing as intuition. Each of these elements operates symbiotically and complementary to the other. If one is out of balance, the other elements fail to function optimally. However, one element will get you back on track completely, and that's your intuition. I have felt this. If you ever felt lost, just like disconnected, lost, like you don't know what's going on in your life, you feel ungrounded, lean into what your gut tells you to do. It may feel like it's unrelated to what you think you should be doing. Follow it. Follow the pebbles. Follow the path, and you will get back on track. Learning to trust in and rely upon your intuition consistently, it's the key. It's the key to the establishment and reestablishment of inner peace. Trusting your intuition is vital to achieving abundance in all areas of your life. When you honor and trust your intuition, you develop a deeper connection to yourself and to the world around you. Your intuition nudges you to do whatever is in your best interest, even if it may feel to you that you're disappointing other people, even if it means that you kind of end up standing on your own island by yourself. Your intuition is never wrong, and it always is working 10, 15, 20,000 steps ahead of you because it knows everything across the spectrum of time, past, present, future. So your intuition knows what's going to happen, what has happened, what is happening. And it's truly, it is the key to establishing inner peace and reestablishing it. So trusting your intuition is vital to achieving abundance in every area of your life. And when you honor it, and when you trust your intuition, this fifth element, you develop a deeper connection to yourself and the world around you. Your intuition nudges you to do what's in your best interest. So follow those nudges, as Dorothy followed the yellow brick road, and you will most definitely find yourself in the land of If you'd like a reading around any issue in your life, by all means, reach out. I'd be happy to do a reading for you. My phone number is 404-558-3971, or it can be reached via email at janis@janisrcohen.com. Please, please, please rate and review my podcast. These ratings and reviews are so helpful to get the word out and to increase my presence on iTunes. Share the word. Let people know about my podcast. It's funny because more and more people are approaching me because they're finding out about my podcast, which I'm very excited about. If you need help with any aspect in your life, I work with people therapeutically all across the globe. So even if we end up talking on the phone or we work on Skype, it is not a problem for me. We can work just as effectively together on the other side of the world as we would if you were right in front of me. So give me a call, email me, let me know how I can help you. And as always, I wish you a blessed day, wonderful week, and live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis R. Cohen. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend and subscribe, rate, and review at iTunes.